I've been looking at toys that do things with paper, mostly cutting ones. I've got another set of cutting ones to show, but it suddenly occurred to me I also come across crimping ones, which make patterns when you roll things. This is an example of a thing that kids love doing because they can make craft things from it. When you roll those and put paper in between the two, it makes a nice corrugation effect. And I've got two others to show. It's a very nice way of kids instantly getting some sort of satisfaction that they're getting something for so little effort, really. This one here, I've got to put it into the jaws and see if I can do that with one or two hands and start the thing in the right way. If you're practicing this, it's easier, but I'm done. Oh, there we are. Right, here we go. So I'm holding a bit of handle and I'm going to turn the bit of paper and out should come crimped paper. Let's see if it does. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. It's not very strong, but I'll hold it up to camera in a minute and see if you can see how it's changed. What was originally a smooth sheet of paper, there we are. What was originally a smooth sheet of paper is now loads and loads of crimps, angles like that. And nice. And I suppose you can then start drawing on it and you get all sorts of funny effects as your tip of your pen or it is departs from the paper and leaves a gap or something. It'll do some interesting effects. So I can do that with lots and lots of coloured paper. But I also thought, let's have a go at doing it with something a little more adventurous. And so I had a go yesterday. I started it with a sheet of aluminium foil, which of course you use for putting in your roast joints for Sunday lunch. So I put it into the jaws. I'll roll it through. This is actually much prettier effect altogether. I'm not sure that they ever intended people to do this, but I'm going to have a go. Get that in there. Oh, there we go. Right, so here we go. Hold up a handle, and this time it's some aluminium foil coming through. It's very thin, so it crimps very happily. Let's see if we get a nice crimping effect. This is good enough to be a decorative thing, isn't it, almost? It's slightly off-center, but never mind. And the last little bit drops off. Look at that. What a lovely piece, isn't it? It's actually rather nice. It's got a whipsy-wopsy there due to a redirection of the thing. So. But it's a very, very attractive little thing for kids who love craft toys to play with. And that's a particularly nice one. It's very sturdy and very wide. The other two I've got are quite a bit smaller and probably a lot cheaper because they've got some all plastic rollers. That was a metal roller. This is a pretty one though, but it's got sort of wavy lines to it. You've got to turn it like this. Well, I'll have a go with a bit of paper first. It's smaller jaws, so I'll use a bit of pink paper. Let's see how we get on. Put them in the jaws, turn it around, and here it's coming through. It's a perfectly blank sheet of paper, but when it comes through, it should have some nice patterns on it. Oh yes. In fact, it's tearing the paper very slightly, which I don't mind, because you can see the light coming through, but that's very visible. Well, that side is actually slightly more visible, I think. But even so, it's very pretty on the pink side. Look at that. Very sweet. And this series of little curvy lines with funny dots in it. I don't know how to describe it. The last one to show you. Oh, actually, no. Let's have a go with the aluminium because I haven't tried this yet. Try aluminium foil on this. Which way does it go? Just like that. So we've got just aluminium foil coming through. Let's see how it copes with it. Oh, it's going to bunch up on the sorter. Never mind. It'll cope with it. Yes, a few more tears this time. Oh, yes, definitely got some tears in it. I'm not so sure about that, actually. I think probably it works better for the aluminium foil than the big one, but there's too much going on. It's too busy. It's like a bit like crumple stuff. It's okay, but it's okay-ish, really. And the last one to show of the rollers is this one here, which is very nice because it's a series of little stars, which I'm turning around. So there's the star at the top is convex, sticking up, and the star at the bottom is a concavity, which it fits into. So let's go with another sheet of paper. Let's try a green sheet. Well, actually, stars should be yellow, shouldn't they? Stars are yellow, or it should be white, actually. Let's put a bit of yellow paper. It's a two-sided yellow paper, this. Put it through the jaws. It's completely blank paper, but it's going to come through the jaws and hopefully get some nice patterns of stars in it. Oh, It's a bit rougher this one than that first one, which is so smooth. It's dropped. Oh yes, that's not bad at all actually. It's got loads and loads of. I'll hold it like that, this way like that. And then the concave side, little holes. Yeah, sort of. And also if you tilt it like that, I think you might see the shadow effects, which is very nice. So it comes off. I'm just gonna have one more final go with one of my bits of aluminium foil, which I've never done in these ones, but I just want to see if you like the idea of silver stars appearing. So we've got that loaded into the machine. The tricky bit really is loading it so it goes evenly in and it doesn't come slewing, but it doesn't matter. So this is aluminium foil, and it's going to be given the treatment. Yes, it's sliding to one side there. Oh well, never mind. And drops down. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, again, like the first one, it's a bit messy, but I'm beginning to think. I'm beginning to think that it's really best for that first one I did, because it's a bit of a mess. In the back, you can't tell the difference, but it's a slightly different. Now, the last one of all to show you is an interesting idea, because it is a crimper, but it's got a completely different function. This is something I found in Japan, and it's used actually for joining bits of paper together, would you believe? But it crimps it. Extraordinary idea. I've got some pieces here which I've done, but I'll do them again. So if you've got a piece of paper here, we'll tear it in half, like that. If you want to join them, you could staple it, or you glue them, or put a paper clip in it, or you can put it into the jaws of this thing and squeeze really hard. And it comes up something very, very small but interesting. Let's see if we can get that in focus. And this is joined, because I can do that and show that it's joined to it, but if you pull hard, it undoes it quite gently. It joins typically 2 or 3 or perhaps 4 sheets at the most, which means it's nothing like as useful as a paperclip, or a stapler would be even better. But it is pretty darn good. And I have to say, when I was a child, one of the things I do remember is going to fairgrounds where they'd issue you with a ticket like this, which you paid something for, inside with a hidden number, but they'd crimped it all the way around the outside so you could tell whether it was a used ticket or not, because in order to read the number, you actually got to open this up like that. And oh, look, I put in I've got a number 7. That would be a prize, but you have to unpeel it. You're literally like unpeeling. And those little crimp lines, so small, hold the paper together quite nicely. But typically 2 sheets is ideal, 3 or 4 or 5. And this wonderful gadget, I call it, well, I picked up in Japan, it's called Lie Height number 6. And it's a most remarkable bit of engineering. It does need a lot of squeezing to make it work. You've got to put a lot of pressure in order to get the crimp effects, even on just 2 sheets of paper. But a nice way to finish off, because most of the crimpers I've ever come across are, of course, these craft ones. But nice to see that it's used for other things than crimps. It gives you the cramps too. My fingers are.